Michigan quarterback situation?
I'm on the record. I as a person outside the room, just from what I see of the two, I would rather have J.J. McCarthy starting. I think you have a higher ceiling with J.J. McCarthy. I think he adds another element with his legs and mobility that, I mean, it's not like Cade McNamara is not a statue, but he doesn't have the same kind of mobility that McCarthy has. And I think that kind of limits what Michigan wants to do. But I also understand, like, maybe there's more trust with McNamara not to make the back-breaking, killing mistake that could hurt you. And we saw that last year. Like McNamara, like he wasn't like a game manager. He was better than that, but he wasn't like blowing people away. But in Michigan was having success just running the ball a lot and then play action kind of passing, just going off of that. And it was effective because they had terrific defense and they didn't have to take a bunch of risks on offense. But I still think that even though you beat Ohio State last year with McNamara, longer term, to make it more likely to beat Ohio State again this year and the year after that, you need to have more dynamism at the quarterback position because Ohio State is going to be a better defense this year. Like, I know we haven't seen a single game with Jim Knowles there, but just based off what Jim Knowles has done in his career and the talent that is on that side of the ball, it's going to be a better defense. It's going to be more difficult to do what you did to them last year again this year. I don't think you can just beat them up. And that's what they did last year in the snow in Ann Arbor. They just beat Ohio State's defense up. They ran through him. They ran over him. They ran around him. It was a very impressive display, but I don't think you can count on that year after year. So I do think they have a higher ceiling. I would go with McCarthy. I don't know how that coaching staff feels right now. Actually, I do think I know how one person that's pretty important on that coaching staff feels right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to lean McNamara, and he will be the starter when the season begins.
Is that Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, and I think that I think Michigan can win with him. It's because again, they just got to the playoff last year with him, so it's not like I sit here and think that Michigan's going to be bad. Oh, they're going to be 8-4 because they don't have J.J. McCarthy starting. But I think you have a higher percentage chance of winning the Big Ten with McCarthy and getting back to the playoff than you do with McNamara.
So if I'm a Michigan fan and I'm one of those twisted ones that is rooting against the success of the starting quarterback because I want to see the backup quarterback in there, the start to the season is not going to fare well. Cade McNamara might look like an all-star and let me just run that through you real quick. Opening game, Colorado State, first-year coach at home. Second week against Hawaii, first-year coach at home. Third game against UConn with a first-year coach at home. And then you play Maryland, who could be exciting. We talked about how, that wide receiver room is great.
They
present some problems, especially for a defense that's going to have a little bit of turnover. But then this is where it gets dicey because fifth game of the season, October 1st, you're going to play at Iowa. So are you waiting for McNamara to struggle at Iowa to put McCarthy in there? Or are you hoping that because all these other games are blowouts that McCarthy has gotten a lot of good second half action to be able to, get fully into the rhythm, get his feet under him when you will probably need the mobility and you will probably need the more versatile skill set to be able to beat a very, very good Phil Parker-led Iowa Hawkeyes defense?
I think that it's probably more the latter in that both McNamara and McCarthy will get a lot of snaps in those first 3 or 4 games, definitely the first 3 games of the season, and both will probably play very well. So you will not be able to justify taking McNamara out for McCarthy. I think that McCarthy will probably see plenty of snaps in the Iowa game too, regardless of what happens, whether he's starting or not, because that is a defense that's very good and you're going to want to present different looks. And maybe you're going to need a spark to get something going on a drive. And we saw last year, like McCarthy did get snaps. Like, it's not like it was all McNamara. They put him in, they have sets with him. They have, certain things to let run. I think we'll see an expanded playbook with him this year in his second season. It's just, unless McNamara is screwing up and hurting the team's chances to win, I don't think you're going to see McCarthy. And I think that could be a problem for Michigan because unless this is, we just see it now with the quarterbacks who don't really like sticking around and waiting for a chance to play. And if you're J.J. McCarthy, maybe he's different. Maybe he's just wants to be at Michigan. Maybe he's willing to sit and wait his turn. Maybe he's like, all right, I'll be the other guy this year. And then once Cade's gone, I can finally step in and take it. And if they know that's the case, then I completely understand what they're doing. But I would just be worried that in this transfer portal era, if JJ McCarthy's sitting there and he's playing well when he gets his shot, but he knows he doesn't really have a shot to be starting anytime soon, he might be trying to, see what else is out there.